Hey guys, it's Candace. I'm a registered nurse and I actually just started travel nursing. I kind of wanted to make videos to, kind of see what other travel nurses have experienced out there, give some encouragement to some new travel nurses like myself. Because it can be kind of scary at first, not gonna lie. Um, I do postpartum nursing, which is taking care of mom and baby after baby is delivered. I've really only worked with couplet care, so that's where I'm the nurse for mom and baby. I haven't really been at a hospital that has mom and baby separate nurses, really. Although sometimes at the hospital I'm currently at, that happens because they have like gyn surgery nurses, like OB-GYN. People get like hysterectomies and breast augmentation or, stuff like that, like women's surgery. We have nurses who sometimes come and help us out. So sometimes I am just the baby nurse because they can only take care of moms. Um, anyway, sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. This is very new and very weird to me to be doing this, but I figured why not? Because I'm in a new place and doing this, so might as well give my experience to people. I initially had wanted to do this when I very first started this travel job. I'm actually almost done with this. I signed up for a 13-week assignment and it's in Dallas, Texas. I was a staff nurse in Tyler, Texas, which is more like Eastern Texas. It's about 2 hours away from Dallas. I was kind of always interested in the idea of travel nursing, but I just never actually did it. And just with what's going on in my life right now and how everything is, I was like, this is a good time to start and try it out. So I'm trying it out. As far as my first time doing this, it has been a really good experience. I've really liked this hospital. I haven't really had much of, I was kind of worried about going to places and it being like, how are they going to treat travel nurses? And sometimes they give them the more crazy assignments, or you get kind of like, I'm so sorry, guys, my eye is allergies. So sorry. Anyway, so I was kind of nervous about that kind of aspect, but everybody here has been absolutely great. They've been so nice. I've had some really, really great patients, some good experiences here. I love what I do. I love postpartum nursing. Totally, I've been a nurse for a little over 4 years now. I graduated in May of 2021. So that was, just a great experience, nursing school in COVID times and starting out as a nurse in COVID times was great. Um, I always knew that I wanted to do something with like mother baby labor, something in that area, before I even started nursing school. Just with my background, my mom did daycare for a long time, like ever since I was in elementary school. So I've always kind of been around babies and helping with that stuff. So I've always wanted to work around babies, which I love it. But when I first started nursing, those are usually the hardest jobs to get into because a lot of times that's where everybody wants to go. And usually once people get in those positions, they don't want to leave. So I ended up doing progressive care nursing, which basically that's kind of like a step down ICU position, cardiac tele. So I had a lot of, COVID patients, of course, because it was still high COVID times. I had, patients recovering from stroke, from heart attacks, lots of like drug, alcohol withdrawal. I had, patients who were going on, comfort care, hospice care, which just, it wasn't for me. Wasn't for me, not gonna lie. power to the nurses who love that. I had some great preceptors there. They were really great nurses and really sweet. I mean, I loved the care and the culture there, but yeah, it wasn't for me. It was very depressing to me. I worked in Washington State, so I'm originally from Texas. Like, I grew up in Texas. I've lived here since I was 5. So it's basically all I've known. And it's, sunny, it's nice. We do get some rain here and there. We get, all the seasons. Washington, you get gray. It was very gray. And not even rainy all the time. It was just overcast and some days it would just be really misty. Like, it was very, very depressing for me. And then having that job on top of that was just not a good combination. So I made it 9 months in that position before I was like, okay, I've got to do something else. It was actually my amazing mother who was like, yeah, you should try something else, because I was on the phone with her before a shift and I just burst out into tears, and I was like, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to do this. It was just so mentally, emotionally draining for me. And that's where I finally was like, you know what? This isn't worth that. So I decided to look for something else. And I ended up finding a postpartum job, mother baby, in Washington State. And I was a staff nurse there for a little over a year, a year and 3 months. And then moved to Tyler, Texas 2 years ago or so. And then I was a staff nurse there for mainly mother baby. I started out, it was a LDRP unit, which is labor and delivery plus the mother baby with it. So they just did all of it. So I was basically the nurse I would still take care of mother baby, but I was also kind of trained to do some antepartum stuff, which is moms who are still pregnant, who are stable moms, stable moms. So do not do the whole labor aspect. That's not for me. And I was also trained to circulate C-sections, so I was the nurse who would, take the moms back and get them prepped and ready and do all the things, and then I would take care of them in postpartum. So that was a good experience for me. I will say all the jobs that I've had have been a great experience. I've learned something from every single one of them, even with that progressive care unit. I mean, I started out there. I learned, basic skills and things like that to kind of shape me as the nurse I am today. So I'm grateful for everything, but it's just, some nursing is such a broad kind of experience that, you just find your little niche, you find your home, and it's not for everybody. Nursing is hard, it's exhausting. Some days it is strenuous. You get patients who are, super appreciative and just super nice and caring, and then you get the ones that are not so nice, not so appreciative, and that can be very hard. So nursing is a hard job. It's a hard job, but I am happy that I'm doing it right now. But long story short, so sorry. I kind of just wanted to go on a log, I guess, of my travel nurse experience. If anyone's looking to try that out or interested in doing that, I would say go for it. Of course, this is my first travel assignment, and I don't really have much to tell you, but at least that way you can get something from this and take my experiences into your own and hopefully give you a little bit more confidence about starting this out. I am going through Aya Healthcare right now. That's who I had this contract with. I hope to continue to stay with Aya for, the rest of my travel nursing experience, but it kind of will depend on, what jobs they have available and where, and, pay and all the things. But so far, my experience with them has been great. So I have a recruiter, his name's Michael, and he kind of sends postings of jobs listings that, like, hey, check this out, kind of geared towards, your skills and mindset and kind of where you want to be. Let me know if you want me to submit your application to these people. So he's been really, really great about doing that and keep me informed and updated about things like that. So far, like, the experience with Aya has been great. I mean, there's him. They also have like a travel experience, like, expert and manager, and just tons of people that have been checking in on me throughout this and, like, making sure everything's going okay with the facility, making sure I don't have any problems or concerns, making sure I feel, safe with what I'm doing. So it's honestly been really great. I'm a very big plan ahead type person, though, so this kind of waiting for assignments to pop up and, knowing I'm so near to the end of this one, it's kind of making me a little nervous. Not gonna lie, a little nervous. So I have 4 weeks left of this assignment, so I've been trying to kind of figure out where I'm going next, and my recruiter, Michael, he's been sending me some places. A lot of them, unfortunately, have wanted, like, start dates in the middle of March. So my contract for this place ends on April 4th. So he said you can always try and see, the worst they can say is no. So I've had, one offer so far. Well, I say offer, more like interview opportunities, so it's not really an offer yet. But that place is gonna be that's a place in Georgia, so it'd be, moving states a little bit. If you are going to be doing travel nursing, make sure you get your compact license, which for Texas, it was like the most simple, like, experience I've ever had. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult than that, but basically you go onto your nursing portal. So obviously I'm licensed in Texas. So you go onto your Texas nursing portal and you basically send a message in your message center to the board of nursing and basically say, hey, I want to get my compact license, and then they just upgrade it to a compact license. Like, I didn't have to do anything else, which was, it was so nice. I thought it was going to be so much more complicated than that, but it wasn't. So if you are doing that, obviously you can stay in the same state if you want. You can totally try and do that, but I will say it's kind of a lot more difficult because I would like to stay in Texas, but there's not a whole lot of positions open right now, at least on Aya's account that I'm seeing. And I'm so sorry, hold on. So I have a stress ball that I've been periodically squeezing because this is very new to me. That, like, this is the first thing I've ever done, like, video, and so it just calms me down. I'm not a big, social person, like, likes to talk in front of a lot of people, which is kind of, it's different with nursing because, obviously I talk to patients all day and I teach and I educate and all that stuff. It's a different form of talking in front of people. I don't know how to explain it, but it's different. But this helps me. So sorry, I needed that back. But definitely get your compact license, is what I'm saying. And then, just give it a shot. Like, if you're thinking about it, like, I would say do it. As right now I am married, but we don't have any kids yet. We have fur babies. We have two little kitties that are absolutely precious. But before we started having kids, I really wanted to try this out. I know you can still travel nurse with children, and lots of people do that, but for me personally, I just wanted to kind of see how it was and how I liked it before I enter that part of my life. So this has just been, kind of like on sort of on a whim. It's like, yeah, it's kind of now or never, because we kind of want to start trying for a family in the next, couple years or so. So it was kind of like, yeah, you should try it now before it gets too late. But I really just wanted to start this kind of little video progression of my travel experience, and hopefully I'll start making more videos of how it's been going. Right now I work tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, so I will likely not be making a video after those days because it's 12 hours and you're tired. So I'm currently in my I have kind of like an Airbnb sort of that I'm staying at for the days that I'm here to work, which for me personally, like for this particular assignment, I found it was a lot cheaper to like kind of rent a place for a few months rather than like stay in a hotel like every single night that I'm here, which would be like 4 nights, because you want a night like beforehand. So, your night before your shift, and then you work your 3, and then you would leave like right the day after that shift. So it was just cheaper option for me, but I found this place on an app called Furnish Finder, website, whatever you want to. It's a website and an app, you can use both. But that was recommended to me by some travel nurses I kind of talked to at the previous hospital I was at. They said they used this and were able to find, fully furnished places. So this place has, it's a bathroom and a little like kitchenette. There's no like really stove or dishwasher, which is fine. Has kind of like a mini fridge, which is fine because on my days off, I travel back to Tyler since it's only a couple hours away. So I didn't really need a whole lot of anything. But of course, for like places that I would have to travel out of state for, I would want, like a full-size fridge and a stove and, things like that. But as for right now, what it is, it's totally fine and meets my needs for what I'm doing currently. But that's another thing you want to kind of think about when you're traveling, is obviously having a place to stay, especially if you're going out of state or a couple hours away. Which if you want to drive before and after your shift, that's totally up to you. That's totally up to you. But I am exhausted after my shift, so I want nothing to do more than take a shower, eat, and then go to sleep. So, I wanted a place where I could go back and do that. So it's totally up to you, but this is just what I'm doing in my experience so far. And this has been really great. I did sign a lease. The owner of this place is super sweet and it's been helpful and just really great. So I really kind of lucked out on this first one, honestly. So I'm curious and anxious to see how it goes next time. But yeah, I'll let you guys, stay tuned for more updates of my travel life and nursing life and life, I guess. If you watched this video, thank you guys for listening. Like I said, it's my first time doing this, so I don't really know how to do all this. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in, listening. I hope some of what I said was encouraging to you, or you got to learn a little bit of something, maybe. I don't know. I hope it did. Any other travel nurses out there want to comment or anything on this? Let me know your experience, what kind of agencies you've used, because I'm still, wanting to learn a lot more, because I'm still very fresh, very new to this. So I would love to hear your guys' experience and any tips and tricks that you guys have. But thanks for listening, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.